So the etiological factor for nutritional cirrhosis, that is malnutrition, then nutritional deficiencies may occur due to alcoholism when alcohol takes the place of food. Then there will be nutritional deficiencies may develop. Okay, so alcoholism is one of the reason for this nutritional cirrhosis. Then after infective hepatitis, this nutritional deficiencies may occur. Then Wilson's disease, congenital syphilis, then the parasitic disorders like malaria and Kala Azhar may be the cause for nutritional cirrhosis. Okay. So how this malnutrition causes cirrhosis? Yes, anyone? How this malnutrition causes cirrhosis? What is basically cirrhosis is? It is nothing but disturbance of lobular architecture with formation of regenerating nodules and replacement fibrosis. Okay. So regenerating nodules, formation of regenerating nodules and replacement fibrosis, that is the deranged or necrosed or this anoxic hepatocytes, they get replaced by the fibrotic bands. So here, what exactly happens in malnutrition? Yes, why this changes develops in the liver, that is region.
Ma'am, lack of lipotrophic factors.
Yes, lack of lipotrophic factors is the cause, main cause, that is absence of lipotrophic factor in the diet. Okay, so it causes, yes, what is the effect of this deficiency of lipotrophic factor?
Accumulation of excess of fat in the liver.
Yes, accumulation of excess of fat in the liver, and this phosphorylation could not happen because of this absence of lipotrophic factor, that is choline and methionine. Okay, for phosphorylation, this methionine and choline, they are needed. Okay, so as a pathogenesis, there is first lack of lipotrophic factor in the diet, and then if the person is alcoholic, then alcohol consumption adds to increase the demand or deficiency of this factor. Okay, now this deficiencies, they get intensified by pregnancy or various type of infections, maybe viral or bacterial, parasitic infection, and dietary deficiencies of vitamins. So here the hepatocytic cells, they get loaded with the lipid and they causes rupture. And after rupture, this fat get accumulates between the cell, that is extracellular area, and this causes gradual nibbling away of this liver cells by formation of replacement fibrosis. Okay, this will gives rise to defective respiration, cellular respiration, tissue respiration, and it will lead into anoxia of the hepatic cells, resulting in deficient carbohydrate metabolism. So here the carbohydrate metabolism become deficient. Okay. Now what is the pathogenesis of alcoholic cirrhosis? Yes. What happens in alcoholic cirrhosis? What is the pathogenesis of alcoholic cirrhosis?
Defective albumin synthesis.
Defective albumin synthesis. Okay. Then
Intrahepatic vascular obstruction.
obstructions. Okay. So these are the effect of this cirrhosis, no, alcoholic cirrhosis. So I'm asking you, what is the pathogenesis of alcoholism? Yes, what is the pathogenesis of alcoholism? What happens when there is ethanol enters in your system?
Ethanol is absorbed by small
intestine and through the stomach also. Okay, to the lesser degree. Yes.
Then gastric alcoholic dehydrogenase.
Ethanol is gets converted into gastric alcoholic dehydrogenase, initiates that alcoholic metabolism, and
Hmm. There are three enzymes. They causes this stimulation of gastric alcohol dehydrogenase. Okay, that is cytosolic ADH, then microsomal ethanol oxidizing system, and paroxysmal catalase. Okay, so here the ethanol, majority of ethanol oxidation occurs by this ADH, alcoholic dehydrogenase, to form, it get converted into acetaldehyde. Okay, this acetaldehyde, they act as a very active molecule or reactive molecule, and they causes multiple effects on the system. So what are the effects of this acetaldehyde? Yes. 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 What are
Cell
the
necro
effects of this aldehyde, acetaldehyde? What are the multiple effects of this acetaldehyde? The first effect is this increases, acetaldehyde increases accumulation of triglycerides in the hepatocytes. That is intracellular accumulation of triglycerides by increasing fatty acid uptake and by reducing fatty acid oxidation and lipoprotein secretions. Okay. So here this protein synthesis and glycosylation is get impaired. There is oxidative damage to the hepatocyte membrane. It is due to formation of reactive oxygen species. There is formation of reactive oxygen species. It gives rise to oxidative damage to the hepatocytes. So the acetaldehyde is the only reactive molecule. It combines with the protein and they form protein acetaldehyde adducts. Okay, so this adducts, they interferes with the specific enzyme activities, including micronodular formation or micronodular formation of the liver or hepatic protein trafficking. Okay, so these all the causes, these activities causes in production of excess collagen and extracellular matrix. So the connective tissue, it appears in both peripheral and pericentral zones, and lastly it connects to the portal triad with central vein, forming regenerating nodules. Now these hepatocytes, they loses their presence, that is there is gradual nibbling away of these hepatocytes, and it increase with associated with increase in the collagen production and deposition of this collagen, extracellular deposition of collagen and extracellular matrix. So this will lead into more and more in number of hepatocyte destruction, and here what will be the net effect? That is the size of the liver, it regrades, that is it become retracted and shrunken in size. Okay, now yesterday we talked about this clinical effects of this alcoholic cirrhosis. That is, there is vague upper abdominal quadrant abdominal pain, fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, anorexia, and malaise feeling. And as a complication of this alcoholic cirrhosis, there may be ascites, edema, upper GI tract hemorrhages. This we call it as gastric varices. Okay. Now yesterday we learned about the risk factors for this alcoholic cirrhosis. That is about the drinking pattern of the patient. Daily 60 to 80 grams of alcohol is injurious to the liver. Okay. Then gender is again responsible for, or it comes under the risk factor. That is, the males, they are more prone to get this damage more in number. Then the malnutrition is again a risk factor for this alcoholic cirrhosis, or the degenerative changes of the liver. Then infections, genetic factor, and hepatitis B and C infections. Okay, so here we discussed about this pathogenesis of cirrhosis. Also, there is inflammation, that is, whenever this ethanol get ingested, it causes injuries to hepatocyte, direct injury to hepatocyte, as well as it also get absorbed from the intestine. So injury may occur to the intestinal cells. Now, whenever injury occurs to the cells, there is release of inflammatory mediators, that is cytokines, TNF and interleukin 1 to 6. The cytokines plus endotoxinemia, they produces apoptosis and necrosis of the hepatocytes, and it initiates inflammatory reactions in the liver. Okay. Then we talked about the redox ratio, that is NADH to NAD ratio. Okay. Now, so I think all the points of pathogenesis it has been covered, and then we will go towards the viral hepatitis, manifestations of viral hepatitis, or viral hepatitis causing cirrhosis. Okay, cirrhosis, that is viral infections and cirrhosis. Okay, so manifestations of viral hepatitis. All of you know the hepatitis. What is hepatitis? Inflammation of the liver. Okay, so initially it is anti-icteric phase and icteric phase. Okay, with no jaundice. Anicteric phase, that is, it is no icterus is present on the conjunctiva. Okay, that is yellow conjunctiva, typically seen in the jaundice. So here, initially in the first step, the stage is anicteric phase, that is no jaundice with nausea, vomiting, headache, malaise, and varying degree of fever. In moderate or severe diseases, this is followed with icteric phase with jaundice, dark urine, pale feces, which is caused due to intrahepatic cholestasis. Then abdominal discomfort, hepatomegaly, and enlargement. Sometimes splenomegaly and tenderness may present. Okay. So viral infections and cirrhosis. Here the etiology is mainly infective hepatitis. Maybe the viral in origin. Pathology, the liver is again here retracted and atrophic in later stage. Okay, but initially it may be larger than normal due to fatty changes. The weight is half than the normal. The weight of liver is half than normal. The color of liver is golden yellow or light brown. Why golden yellow? Because of this infective hepatitis here, there is obstruction of this bile. Okay, so bilirubin, obstruction of the bilirubin gives rise to this golden yellow and light brown color of the liver. The surface is nodular, and the consistency, it is firm due to presence of fibrous tissue. Due to presence of fibrous tissue, the consistency of the liver is firm. Sometimes on cutting, that is at the time of autopsy, sometimes it is gritty sensations. The cut surface is nodular, and you can easily look greasy structure or greasy consistency of the liver. The nodules, they are usually 2 centimeter or less than 2 centimeter in diameter. In post-necrotic type, the nodules are bigger, that is 2.5 to 5 centimeter in diameter. Microscopically, this liver, it is characterized by proliferation of connective tissue in portal spaces. So microscopically, there may be proliferation of connective tissues. Okay. In early stage, there is fatty infiltration of parenchymal cells. Early stage, that is in 24 hours, there is fatty infiltration of parenchymal cells, we can see. Second, there is alcoholic hyaline in the cytoplasm, like in alcoholic cirrhosis. Therefore, we call it as alcoholic hyaline in the cytoplasm, consisting of numerous coarse hyaline acidophilic granules arranged around the nucleus. Now here, in case of, these are the characteristic phase of microscopic phase of this infective hepatitis, that is fatty infiltration in the parenchymal cell due to more and more number of triglycerides in the hepatocytes. Then alcoholic hyaline in the cytoplasm, it get accumulated consisting numerous coarse hyaline acidophilic granules. We can see this granules arranged around the nucleus. Okay. Okay. Then in advanced stages, what happens in advanced stages? The first is there is loss of architecture of lobule, which is completely destroyed. Here, the destruction of the lobule is more in number. Okay, so the architecture, it is severely affected, loss of architecture of lobule, which is completely get destroyed. Then group of proliferating liver cells we can see which get separated by the fibrous tissues. So these proliferating liver cells, they get separated by the fibrous tissue bands. Now third change is there is no lobular arrangement with no lobular vein in the center. So total destruction of the liver lobule with this threading of this lobular veins in the center. Commonly it is present at the center. Okay, but this lobular vein we cannot see with proliferation of this liver cell which gets separated by the fibrous tissues. Then there is formation of new bile duct in the periportal area. So the new bile duct, it is, we can see, which is present in the periportal area. The portal vein, it does not drain into new nodule and the liver cell, which in the new nodule, that is this nodule which get formed due to this uh, proliferation of the liver cell and the fibrous band which get appear. There is formation of nodule and the liver cell. They drive their blood supply, or they get their blood supply from the hepatic artery. The portal vein, it does not drain into the new lobule because of formation of fibrous bands, fibrous septa in the lobule. Now, between nodules, the liver cell has disappeared. Between the nodules, between the two nodules or three nodules, the liver cells, we could not locate the liver cells. They get destroyed or disappears totally from the eyesight of the microscope. So here, these are the 5 important characteristic changes that occurs in the advanced stage of post-hepatic cirrhosis. That is loss of architecture of lobule, which is completely destroyed. Then there is group of proliferating liver cells we can see, which is separated by the fibrous band. There is no lobular arrangement we could see in the liver lobule or in the liver. There is formation of new bile duct in the periportal area. Then portal vein does not drain into the new nodule, and the liver cell drives their blood supply. They get their blood supply mainly from the hepatic artery. Now, between the nodules, the liver cell has disappeared. They have disappeared between the nodules. Okay. So these are the characteristics of this post-necrotic cirrhosis. The next part we are going to discuss type. Next type in the classification, that is post hepatic cirrhosis. Again, it is a slow and very much spreading type of inflammation of liver cell. It spreads very easily, okay, which may be viral in origin. So post-hepatic cirrhosis, the cause may be any viral infection. The liver is normal or reduced in size. The color of liver is get altered. The surface, it is uniformly nodular. It may vary from 2 to 2.5 centimeter in diameter. 2 to 2.5 centimeter in diameter. Then microscopic changes, like there is narrow bands of the fibrous tissue. Narrow bands of the fibrous tissue we can see. Okay, here the bands of fibrous tissues, they are not very much broad. They are narrow bands which get enclosed with enclosed areas of the lobules or the single lobule. So this fibrous band or fibrous septa, they separates the this lobule. Okay, they separates the areas of the lobule, or they separate the single lobule. The general architecture is intact and there is no accumulation of the lipid in the liver cell. So we could not see any lipids in the liver cells, that is hepatocytes. Okay. So here priorly we talked about the viral infections and cirrhosis. Here we talked about the post-hepatic cirrhosis, that is, it is a very slow progressing associated with inflammation of the liver cells and which might be of viral in origin. Okay, post-hepatic cirrhosis, it might be of viral in origin. Here the liver, it may be normal or reduced in the size. The color alteration, of course, there is alteration of the color. Then what is the color of liver here in case of post this hepatic cirrhosis? The color of the liver, it become more reddish type, reddish brownish color. Okay. The microscopically narrow bands of fibrous we can see which separates the lobules or the single lobule, and the general architecture here is intact. Okay. In case of post-viral hepatitis, post-viral the cirrhosis, there is total loss of architecture of the liver. But post-hepatic cirrhosis, the general architecture of liver is preserved, it is intact, and there is no accumulation of the lipid in the liver cells. Okay. Now we will go towards our next topic, that is post-necrotic cirrhosis. So it results from the complication of viral infections, hepatitis, or exposure to toxins. Here liver shrinks because lobule get destroyed and there is broad spectrum of scar of the tissue form within the liver. Okay, the scar will never get faded away. This always gives the imprints of the disease. So the post-necrotic cirrhosis, it represents the cirrhotic liver in healed subacute yellow atrophy or the toxic hepatitis. Okay, so here this post-necrotic cirrhosis, it is always it is related, or it occurs as a complication of the subacute yellow atrophy of the liver or after toxic hepatitis. Then pathology, the etiology of this particular condition, that is post-necrotic cirrhosis. Etiologically, there is subacute yellow atrophy of liver or necrosis. It is caused due to mainly drug, and the larger group of liver cells, they get destroyed, okay, due to some systemic effects of these drugs or any medicines. This liver cells, they get destroyed. Large number or large group of liver cells get destroyed. But when the patient survives, these necrotic areas, they get replaced by the fibrous tissues. So most of the time here, the death of the person occurs due to this septicemia, either septicemia or bacteremia. But if the patient survives, when the patient survives, these necrotic areas, they get replaced by formation of the fibrous tissue. But this survived liver cell, they undergo compensatory hypertrophy. See, here, as an effect of this necrotic changes, this there is a large formation of large nodule, okay, of new liver tissues which get separated by the depressed areas of the fibrous tissue. That we call it as a scar formation, okay. So if the patient survives, these necrotic areas, they get replaced by the fibrous tissue, but the survived liver cells, they undergo compensatory hyperplasia. The survived liver tissues or cells, they undergoes compensatory hyperplasia, and this results in formation of large nodules of new liver tissue. They get separated by depressed areas of the fibrous tissue, that is scar formation, okay. It occurs in this post necrotic cirrhosis. So this necrosis is generally, it is a process of degeneration, okay. First there is degeneration and then necrosis, which whenever this liver undergoes or undergone with this necrotic conditions, in that case some part of the liver, it may become damaged permanently. But as the liver cells, they are regenerating cells, so new liver tissues, they get forms and separated by the depressed areas of the fibrous tissues, okay. So this is all about our post necrotic cirrhosis. Understood? Any queries related to this topic? Yes. Yes, any queries related to this part?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now we will go towards the symptoms of post-necrotic cirrhosis. Clinical pathology, that is clinical pathology. There is hepatic insufficiency, very the metabolism of the liver, it get disturbed. There is hepatic insufficiency occurs. Then edema, anemia, and hemorrhagic tendency is increased. The spleen get enlarged due to portal hypertension. Then there is acute and chronic pancreatitis. It is usually with alcoholic cirrhosis. And peptic ulcer in this post-necrotic cirrhosis is very, very common. Peptic ulcers, they are very, very, very much common with this post-necrotic cirrhosis. or they appears as a complications of post necrotic cirrhosis. Okay. The spleen, it is usually enlarged, and it is the cause of enlargement of spleen is portal hypertension. Okay. And this pancreatitis, it also occurs. It is usually with alcoholic cirrhosis, and peptic ulcers, they are very commonly seen in this post necrotic cirrhosis. Okay. Then we'll go towards the complications of cirrhosis. The complications of cirrhosis. I'm closing this meeting. I will call the meeting in few minutes. Okay. Again, you can join with the